Before we get into today's review, I just want to throw out a quick spoiler warning. For those who haven't seen My Little Pony: A New Generation and do not want spoilers, then please click off the video now because we are going to be talking about everything here. And for those who have seen it, then enjoy the review. My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic came to an end in October of 2019, and for the most part, I was pretty happy with it. Along with that, it also left me wondering about the future of the franchise due to Hasbro revealing that a second My Little Pony movie was scheduled to be released in 2021. One really weird spinoff later, in September of this year, Hasbro released My Little Pony: A New Generation. This movie is a Netflix exclusive following the adventures of a brand new cast of characters in their journey to bring back the magic of friendship. This movie is also the beginning of the 5th generation for the My Little Pony franchise altogether. I, as a brony, could not be any more excited for this movie. So, for today's episode of Rapid Reviews, let's take a look at My Little Pony: A New Generation. Let's start things off with the story. My Little Pony: A New Generation seemingly takes place a long time after the ending to Friendship is Magic. So much time has passed, in fact, that Twilight Sparkle and the main 6 are apparently now seen as ancient tales of the past. Oh, and somehow all the magic is gone from Equestria and the pony races are living separately and in fear of each other again.
It is evolving, just backwards.
Sunny Star Scout, a young Earth pony, makes it her mission to bring the magic back to Equestria after hearing the stories of Twilight and her friends from her father Argyle. Along the way, she meets Izzy, a unicorn who Sunny unknowingly wrote to when she was a filly, and becomes her best friend. The whole movie follows the two's journey to find out what happened to the magic, and hopefully are able to restore it in the end. For the story as a whole, it's honestly a really interesting concept, and the way it was executed was done pretty nicely. That being said, however, I do think it could have been done a bit better. For the most part, I enjoyed it, but a lot of it just felt rushed. Though I do think there was a reason behind why that is. The runtime. As per with these children's movies, they tend to keep it limited to just an hour and a half. Because of this, it seemed like the movie didn't have enough time to explain some aspects of the story more or even give many moments to character development. Don't get me wrong, the movie still comes together at the end of the day, but I think had they even just increased the runtime to 2 hours, it would have made a pretty big difference in the final product compared to the 1.5 hours that we got. It's most likely because of the movie's short runtime that it gives me my main issue with this film. Within the movie, there are plenty of hints towards the previous Friendship is Magic series, showing that there is an obvious connection. Friendship is Magic ended with a happy, positive note that showed all the different pony races, as well as other creatures, living together in peace. In this movie, however, as I stated before, the ponies are now separated and living in fear of each other. There's anti-Pegasus and unicorn propaganda seen all around Maritime Bay, as well as creatures acting hostile towards those of the other pony races. I was personally really excited to find out what happened and how they would explain it, and they didn't. There's not one single explanation here as to what happened to the magic. All we're shown is that magic is now formed through 3 different crystals. But where did these come from? What happened to Twilight and her friends? All of this stuff is not directly mentioned or hinted at one time throughout the entire movie. While I absolutely despise that this is how they did it, again, I mostly blame this on the short runtime of the film. But at the same time, what this also did was more leave me intrigued and curious about the upcoming series that will be the follow-up to the movie starting next year. I do hope that they take the opportunity to delve more into the lore and the backstory on why Equestria now is the way it is. So with that said, I can say that the story is honestly very nice. One other aspect I do want to make note of though is at the very end. So at the end of the movie, Sunny sort of transforms into an alicorn. This is something that I kinda have a love-hate feel for. What I simply don't like is that I feel that it's way too early for our main protagonist to be gaining such a massive change. That being said, however, I don't think it's a permanent change. Alicorns in the previous generation have horns and wings that are actually attached to their bodies. Sunny's parts only seem to be made out of pure magic and are translucent. At best, they're only outlines of the wings and horn. Another aspect that says that this is only temporary is through leaked merchandise. An Easter-themed book based on this film was leaked, and on the cover it shows Sunny with her new highlights in her mane, but no wings or horn. I don't know what the plans are for Sunny down the road, but I honestly hope that they don't keep this transformation permanent. I hope that they have her do more in the series to the point where she truly earns that transformation. Alright, let's talk characters, and I've got quite a few to go through. Sunny, the main protagonist of the film. Sunny is an activist who spends most of her time trying to get all of the pony species to be friends with each other again. When she isn't doing so, she spends her spare time selling smoothies and roller skating. She's voiced by Vanessa Hudgens. When I heard that Sunny was going to be an activist, I was worried. However, I really liked Sunny as a character. Sunny's flaws are that she usually tries way too hard to get the ponies to come together, and they usually result in her getting in trouble. Her journey throughout the movie really shows how she learns that she can't force people to come together, and that we can unite more naturally. Vanessa Hudgens does a pretty neat job voicing her, and I think Sunny makes for an interesting protagonist overall. Izzy, a unicorn from Bridalwood who becomes Sunny's best friend on her journey to bring back the magic. She's voiced by Kimiko Glenn. I loved Izzy. Her design, her personality, her voice. She is definitely my favorite character in the whole film. She is incredibly adorable, and Kimiko's voice acting is just the cherry on top.
Do Earth ponies also like staring contests?
While Sunny is the main character of the movie, Izzy manages to steal the spotlight constantly. Every scene she is in, her bright and cheery attitude just makes the movie much more enjoyable. I honestly have no complaints about her. She's perfect the way she is. Hitch. Hitch is Sunny's childhood friend and the sheriff of Maritime Bay. He is also the first male main character, specifically that is a pony, in the My Little Pony franchise. I was honestly really surprised by Hitch, as with what I've seen My Little Pony do with their male characters, which is that they just tend to be flirts most of the time, Hitch isn't that at all. He actually has a decent role in the story, and has many memorable character moments. He starts off as a bit arrogant and only cares about following the law, but grows into willing to help Sunny when he realizes how much better he'd be doing for Equestria, and grows to love adventure. I love that he also tends to be the only sane one in the group, but occasionally has to go against his own standards and do something goofy.
Magic wing feather mayonnaise! Bing! Bong!
I kind of relate to him the most, as I know how it feels to deal with a bunch of silly girly stuff and being the only guy in the group. So I give big rounds of respect to this guy. He's also voiced by James Marsden, aka the Donut Lord. Zip. Zip Storm is one of the royal sisters of Zephyr Heights, the city where all the Pegasi live, and is voiced by Liza Koshy. She has an interest in science and dreams of being able to actually fly one day. Zip is another character that surprised me. When I first saw her, I felt like she was just going to be a carbon copy of Rainbow Dash, but she isn't. They did a lot more with her than I expected them to do. I love how she comes up with the plan to steal the Pegasus crystal from her mother and has the same desires as Sunny, that being to bring back the magic. I also love how she has a Wonderbolts poster in her secret room. Maybe she wanted to be one back in the day? Who knows? I can't wait to see where they go with her in the future series. Pip. Princess Pip Petals is Zip's younger sister and is a famous pop star in Zephyr Heights, and is voiced by Sophia Carson. I'm gonna be very honest here. I like Pip as a character, but she's the one character I was most disappointed with. Pip doesn't do a lot throughout the movie. She has a concert, the concert goes wrong due to Zip's plan, she decides to help her sister and new friends escape, so she doesn't go to jail for what again?
Being a phony pony full of baloney.
And after that, she doesn't really do anything. What makes me the most annoyed over this is that Hasbro really hyped up her character, all for it to not really pay off. Why didn't they spend more time hyping up Zip instead? At least she contributed a lot more to the story. With that being said though, I still think Pip is decent. She has a nice design and Sophia does a great job voicing her. I also like how short she is compared to the rest of the group. I just think it's adorable. Hopefully they do a lot more with her in the later series. Sprout. Deputy Sprout is sort of the main villain in the movie. He becomes the sheriff in charge while Hitch is away and is voiced by Ken Jeong. I found Sprout to be pretty funny, and I like how they made him a real mama's boy. He's a good example of that bratty kid in elementary school who lets a small amount of power go to his head, and I like the way they handled it. Though I do wish we had seen him actually receive real punishment at the end of the movie. I think it more leaves room for him to redeem himself throughout the upcoming series. Queen Haven. Haven is the mother of Zip and Pip, and obviously the queen of Zephyr Heights. I honestly loved this character. I felt like she was the one who was more likely to be the main villain before the movie came out. But after seeing her save Alphabettle during the climax of the movie, I knew she was a personal favorite of mine. Seeing her willing to give up her position of power in order to help bring back the magic was a very nice moment for me. Also, that short montage of how she never takes her crown off makes me laugh every time. And I love her practicing her fake laugh.
Still not right.
Alphabettle. Alphabettle owns a tavern in Bridlewood, and I personally say is one serious gamer. He challenges Sunny to a dance-off in order for her to win the unicorn crystal. He's also voiced by the man, the myth, the legend, the Samurai Jack himself, Phil Lamar. I like Alphabettle. He's a fun character who, like Queen Haven, is willing to help Sunny towards the end of the movie. It makes me happy. I think he's a nice character overall, and I'd like to see what the series does with him. Argyle. The father of Sunny Starscout himself, voiced by Michael McKean. I absolutely love this character. I adore the fact that he spends most of his time doing research on the main six and their past, and is also a very loving father. He isn't portrayed as one of those dumb TV dads we see all the time, where he's too busy working and isn't willing to spend time with his kid. He very clearly loves his daughter. It's also wonderful that he is one of the big driving reasons behind Sunny's motivation to reunite the pony races, and he is the perfect reason for that. He isn't just a father telling stories to his daughter at bedtime, he also knows that they're real. Seeing him and Sunny together just made my heart warm up. That being until after the first 10 minutes of the movie, where we never see him again. Seriously, Hasbro, you wasted such a perfectly good character. I mostly love Argyle, however, just for how much of a wonderful dad he is, along with Bandit Healer from Bluey, who is also one of my favorite dad characters. I also love seeing that Argyle is a single father, and I think that ranks him a bit higher than Bandit.
Oh, duck cake!
Of all the characters in the movie, Argyle is the one that I really hope to see again at some point in the series. He really deserves much more than what he got. You did us proud, sir. You really did. Okay, let's talk about a few more things I can give praise for before wrapping up. The animation. I've seen plenty of other official 3D animated My Little Pony projects from Hasbro, and this movie is miles better. Granted, those were for toy promotions, but this feels like it wasn't made for that purpose. This feels like a genuine movie that had effort put into it. The character designs are also beautifully done, and most of that is thanks to the lead designer, who is Gen 4 artist Imalu on DeviantArt. She brought so much life to these characters from her designs alone, and it really shows. The soundtrack. I think for a children's movie, the soundtrack is about as normal and basic as you can get. However, the musical numbers change that up quite a bit. It's the moment where the music really gets to shine. Along with this, all of the characters can sing pretty well. I was even impressed with James Marsden's singing voice.
They taught us unicorns were super scary maniacs, with horns like razors and tongues like tasers and teeth like tacks. They take your hooves and then they grind them into midnight snacks. The basic gist of it is unicorns are not okay.
So overall, what are my final thoughts on My Little Pony: A New Generation? Well, it does indeed have flaws in it that I hope will be addressed later on, but at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this movie. It's a lot of fun, and it left me wanting to see more. The characters were all really awesome, the soundtrack was great, the musical numbers were fun. As a matter of fact, that's the best word I can use to describe this movie. Fun. I can't wait to see where the series goes in the future. So, with that being said, this wraps up my rapid reviews of My Little Pony: A New Generation. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you get to watch this movie whenever you can. Until then, I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe for more future content. Be sure to also click the bell icon so you'll be reminded every time I've got a new video. Also, make sure to follow me on both Twitter and Instagram so you get sneak peeks and behind the scenes looks at what I've got in store. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you around.